6:30. Let's call our meeting to order. We'll begin with the invocation and pledge. Dear Lord, may we always be mindful of the needs of those around us and strive to uplift and support them. In times of success, keep us grounded and grateful, and remind us that our success comes through the talents you gave us and from the talents of others who support us. We ask these things in your name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item 3 on our agenda is public comments. Nancy, no public comments today? Great. Item 4, consider and take action on the consent agenda. Council, do we have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Just a quick question. Is there a reason that it doesn't include the finances?
Yes, and when we do reports, I'll talk to you more about that. Mainly that they're not ready, but I'll give you some more detail.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The motion carries. Item 5, new business. Discussion and take action regarding Resolution 2024-09, the resolution of the City Council of the City of Simonton, Texas, adopting a covered applications of prohibited technology policy as required by the Texas Senate Bill 1893 of the 88th Legislature. Bill?
Yes.
Will you give us the Cliff Note version, or
yeah, of course.
to start?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So some of you may have heard kind of coming down through the news that like the federal government has banned TikTok. That may have been a headline, and that the state government has followed suits in many of the states, Texas being one of them. Ultimately, the issue with TikTok, and again, I'm specifically saying TikTok because that's the current only application banned under this policy, but other applications could become banned later. They found vulnerability threats to networks. Ultimately, a lot of these applications, specifically, again, TikTok, has sort of backdoor access to networks and to data on those networks, and so they found that the threat on like a government computer, i.e. gaining access to that government network, was too much of a threat to allow. And so what this ban does is it follows suit with Texas. So Texas has passed a similar ban and then directed their sort of IT gurus to come up with a uniform policy. That uniform policy has been published, and so this is now the process of cities, through resolution, sort of adopting their own policy, which just mirrors the state of Texas policy. So ultimately what this does is it bans the application TikTok from use on a government device. So if you have like a city laptop or a city computer or a city cell phone, you cannot use the application TikTok on it. I know a lot of networks have already blocked it just because of those uses, and many of the networks don't even allow any social media when it comes to government sites anyways. I don't believe you have any bring your own device type policies. This doesn't include, like, for instance, I get Outlook on my phone that I can check my work email, right? Well, that's not access to my network. I can still use TikTok. If they don't follow me. But I can still use TikTok. You can still use TikTok as a council member. It doesn't ban council members from using TikTok on your own cell phone, on your own time, et cetera, et cetera. So it's not like a First Amendment ban against it. It's just specifically on the network. And so that's what this policy adopts.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Or do I need to wait?
Wait.
Question. Without having adopted a social media policy at all, because this was brought up 2 meetings ago, do we need to adopt a social media policy previous to, I mean, obviously this is encompassed regardless whether or not we say it so or not. The state legislature has already said that.
Right.
However, should we not be looking into a social media policy to cover all bases, not just the ones the state says we should?
So potentially, specifically, this is the more to do with not using it at all on government devices. A policy that the city would adopt would, I think, would more in line with what you can and cannot do on social media. I mean, it could outright ban certain other applications on it, but it should more drive sort of appropriate use, who has access to it, who's an administrator, or whatever the term would be for whichever site you have, that sort of thing. But yeah, so this is separate and distinct, but you're right, this would be in line with, or you could adopt a policy that incorporates this, but this is so specified by the state government right now that even if you had a social media policy, this wouldn't, they kind of run, yeah, it wouldn't override it, it goes alongside it, specific to that one application.
So as a council member, just out of curiosity, to make sure I'm in the know on this, as a council member, if I decide to post a video from my own personal device, because it's not a city device, right, to TikTok and tag the city of Simonton, how does that work?
Well, I'm not a social media expert, but I don't think
Not either.
you wouldn't be able to, I believe you wouldn't be able to tag the city on TikTok because the city doesn't exist on TikTok.
They can't use it at all.
Right.
Okay.
And so there wouldn't, I mean, you could put City of Simonton in the, whatever the search engine optimization, hashtag, et cetera, right. But the city doesn't have an account, and so therefore it wouldn't necessarily, there's no like page to post to, like on Facebook, where I'm sure if you tag the city, it kind of tags to the city's page as well. That it would do that if the city had TikTok, but the city doesn't and now can't.
So if you have a Facebook page and then you do a TikTok but put it on a Facebook page, how does that work? You just can't use it. I'm asking a specific question here. I'll lean it in. If you only do it from a city device, I don't have a city device. None of us have city devices. Well, except maybe Lori. But we don't have city devices.
Right.
If I don't do it from a city device, but I still do it, that's my question.
That's
yes
fine.
Or no?
That's fine. So it's about where the application lives.
Okay.
So the application lives on a device connected to, not just connected, it's not up to Wi-Fi, but like in that
Ownership.
the ownership of it being the city, that's where TikTok can't live. And all of you can have a TikTok account and post to each other's and go from there. It's not about not using TikTok, it's about not having that application living on the city's network.
Okay, got it.
All
Thank you. Sorry.
Council, any other discussion or questions for Phil about the concept of what the item is? All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Oh,
Thank you. I'm sorry, Justin?
Mayor Boudreaux?
Just one second. And I had a second from Burns.
I had a brief thing to bring up to you on that, Mayor Boudreaux. The purpose of that.
If you don't mind, we're in the middle of the motion right now. We'll have to
I was just gonna.
do that another time. Thank you.
Update you on
All in favor?
that.
Any opposed? All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, this item reads discussion take action regarding resolution 2024-10, proclamation to honor Chief Gilbert Kirk Meyer Jr. as a community servant and protector of the city of Simonton. There's actually no action for council, but I have prepared a proclamation that I'm going to present to outgoing chief on Friday. And I certainly would like to make sure you all are in agreement since the city council is represented. So I'll read it to you. Proclamation to declare November 22nd, 2024, Chief Gilbert Kirk Meyer Jr. Day. Whereas Chief Meyer Jr. has performed extraordinary acts of service to improve our community through his actions with the city of Simonton and surrounding area, and whereas Chief Meyer Jr. served as the chief of FSFD from 1975 through 2024 and has led the department since 1974. And whereas Chief Meyer could always be counted upon to respond when the tones dropped while demonstrating the highest standards of ethics and values. And whereas Chief Meyer leaves a legacy of driving forward and progressive emergency service development as community and safety technology grow. And whereas Chief Meyer has inspired volunteers, citizens, and first responders to step forward and give their best to their community. Now therefore, I, Laurie Boudreau, the mayor of the city of Simonton, and on behalf of the city of Simonton City Council, do hereby declare appreciation to Chief Meyer Jr. as a community servant and protector of the city of Simonton. We honor November 22nd, 2024 as Chief Gilbert Kirk Meyer Day in official recognition. And we would like to see it, as long as everyone is in agreement. Thank you very much. We'll send our heartfelt thanks to the Chief. He's going to be around a little longer, I understand, but his official date, I believe, is Friday on the 22nd. And while we're there, everybody met our new chief, Boker?
Doug Boker, yes.
Doug Boker. He is here to observe today. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we'll be meeting Chief. He'll be working with us in the
It's very
future.
nice of you to recognize his contributions.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
All right, item 6, adjourned to executive session. We don't have any executive items today, so we will skip that. And jump to item 9, reports, EDCA and EDC board updates. Do either of the boards want to give update information from recent meetings? You don't have to. This is your opportunity. The boards have been meeting, setting up, moving forward on their understanding and preparation to serve. Okay. Keep Simonton Beautiful update. I'll turn it over. But I want to apologize that the board has made some recommendations to council, to the city, for council to consider for new appointments. I did not get it on this agenda, so it'll be on our next city council agenda. Other updates, ma'am?
We are in full swing preparing for the Christmas Roundup and Home Tour. If you have not bought your tickets for the home tour, they are on sale now at Keep Calm Hair Salon as well as City Hall. Please do it. There's 4 beautiful homes and 1 business on the map this year. I don't know anything else we want other than if you see us post something on social media, please post it to yours. We got to get the word out as much as possible. I mean, we want as many people out here as we can possibly get. So if you please share it, we would appreciate it.
Thank you, Kelly. Also, special thanks to the Keep Simonton Beautiful Committee and volunteers that showed up recently to put out flags before Veterans Day, create the new Christmas decorations, and hang them all on the same day. That was a busy day and lots of really great volunteers. We surely appreciate that, and Simonton is looking wonderful. Finance, we did not have finance on the consent agenda today. This meeting, the 3rd Tuesday of the month, would be our typical monthly financial reports. Our new CPA is working hard to audit, I'm loosely using the word audit, to reconcile and help us get ready to close the books for the fiscal year for September. She wasn't quite ready, and we would prefer to give you all of the information, and it's been gone through by the CPA before we do that. So it will definitely be a catch-up meeting in December when we have multiple months to present. The only other update that I have is on the City Hall project. It's been 3 weeks now. We've discovered that there was an omission on the plans with the number of seats that's going to be increased in the council chambers. There was a requirement for an upgrade to a bathroom to be ADA compliant. So we're in the middle of figuring out what that means. There's a plan that I think is going to be accepted. It'll be tomorrow, and we'll share with council what that looks like. It's not a major overhaul, but we will have to move a wall of 1 bathroom out a couple of feet, a foot. So we've been at a stop for 3 weeks on the construction project while we make sure that that gets handled properly and we don't have to undo anything. So more to come there. Bill, do you have anything for council? Miss Nancy?
No,
Thank you. Any others on council have a report today?
I would like to only report that I have sent, I think there was some confusion beginning with our last meeting. Bless his heart, I'm sure he loved this as much as I did. Mr. Clay Cox from Texas Pride shares the same initials as I do. So I got a multitude of emails saying, "Is this you?" And I went, "Dear God, no." I would like to ask that on our December meeting, or in our December meeting, that there is an update with Texas Pride. There is definitely an update with our finances, as well as I've had several constituents reach out to me and say, "Hey, why are we not kind of going back over these things?" As well as just kind of an update or where we stand or what we need to do to move forward with a zoning plan, because we're
Okay,
So
so
we're
zoning
done with
update
our-
and Texas Pride to be added.
zoning
Did you have
update,
something
financials
else?
update, zoning, as well as road work. It's getting to the point where I cannot even, and I'm not being selfish here because I know there's a multitude of other people, but I can't even get into my own driveway just because of the treacherous roadways. So if there's calls we need to make or just, vigilance that we need to provide, I'm certain we are adamant that we can do those things in any way that we can form. The only other thing I got is that I noticed a recent TML posting for an administrator within the city, and I don't know that was within our approved previous budget. So those are the only things I want some updates on. Would love to see on a future agenda, and that's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you for changing the email with Clay, though, because seriously, everybody was emailing me going, "Is this you? Is this you?" Because it was just C. Cox at Texas Pride or whatever, and I'm like, "No, I do not work for the trash company, I promise." It's not me.
Morning. You already made note for the KSA member.
Yes. All right. And with that, we will adjourn at 6:47.